Hey y'all, my name is Anna, welcome to my channel, and today I am doing my finale for my chopping block series. And you might be wondering why this came so soon, because I think I started it like 2-3 months ago. It wasn't that long ago, but I actually kind of hit all my goals. It's just exciting. Now, if you haven't seen my previous videos in the series, this is a series where I choose certain items that I want to decide whether or not I want to keep or declutter, or in one case just want to get use out of, and I make a usage goal and I update you on how I use it, how many times I use it, and just how I feel about the product. Now, if you have seen any of my other videos in this series, then you know these lipsticks have been a struggle. My goal was to use each of these 5 times, or to decide whether or not I want to declutter them. And if I do want to keep them, then I have to reach my usage goal. And it was kind of interesting this month. So let's start with this red lipstick. You want to guess how many times I used it this month? Big ol' 0. However, I have used the Franken that I made out of this, but the lipstick itself, haven't used it all. And also, the cap broke even more. When the cap broke, my desire to keep this lipstick also broke. So I just realized I'm never gonna wear a bright lipstick like this, especially in red, and that's okay. I don't have to like this bright lipstick, and I don't have to keep it for that one day that I might need a bright lipstick. It's just, that day's not gonna come, and I've accepted that. And I'm just done. I'm done. It served me well for the purpose of wearing it for that one school dance that I bought it for, but I'm ready to say goodbye. I forgot to say what lipstick this is. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Last lip color in the shade 911D, or Stoplight Red. My conclusion about that lipstick made me question how I viewed this lipstick, which is in the shade 965 Cherry Picking. Also, just want to add, I'm sorry if there's any background noise. Currently my dad is in his office working from home, and there's also several like construction-y things going on in our house, so if there's any like background noise, I turned on my fan because 1, it's hot, and 2, I was hoping it'd kind of be white noise for any other background noise, but I don't know how that'll work. But yeah, just want to put that out there. Anyways, this lipstick is a very bright berry lipstick, which it is a pretty shade. However, I just don't want it as a lipstick. I did not wear this at all this month either, and also the cap broke. And I was like, do I really want to keep this lipstick that I never wear, and when I do wear it, I feel like I'm being forced and I'm not really enjoying it. And this is the oldest one. I think it's 2.5 years old or something like that now. It's definitely, it's fine, like I don't smell anything bad with it, but I'm not gonna give these to people because they're broken and sad looking. And also, I don't really have anyone to give makeup to, really, so yeah. Basically, because I let go of that one, I guess I saw the 3 lipsticks as like a unit, and because I let go of one of them, I was able to let go of this one as well. And let's talk about the next one, which is in the shade 981A Smooth Mauves. And this one has the most usage because I used it in a Franken, and I also used it once this month. I actually wore it in my last video, so that's more than I can say for the other 2. And it is this very bright mauve, purple toned pink. Very like bubblegummy in a way, but cool toned, and it's definitely probably my favorite of the 3, but that doesn't mean I like it. You could say that it looked fine in my last video, but I had a gloss before that. I was wearing a gloss with that look, and I liked that better. And once I put this on, I actually put a gloss on top of it anyway, but I just liked the look less with it. I'm just not into really vibrant colors. I like muted tones. I'm not even into bright eyeshadows. I like colorful things that are muted. Pastel, they're grungy, but I don't like neons or just primary, secondary, simple colors. I like a bit more nuance to the shade, if that makes sense. And yeah, after I let go of the other two, I thought I'll just keep this one. This is the one I'll keep. It's fine. It's not cruelty free, but like maybe I'll use it up eventually. But after I wore it that one time, I was like, I should just, why do I keep this? I don't, again, I'm forcing myself, so I'm just done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Thank you. Goodbye. I am almost glad that I did buy those lipsticks a couple years back, because it helped me learn what lipsticks I am drawn to. I don't think I would really know that without purchasing those. And I also, for the most part, the first two I bought for school dances, and I'm glad at least I had the wisdom to purchase a really cheap lipstick that I knew I would wear that often. I wasn't sure if I'd wear it more than once, really, so at least I didn't spend a fortune on something that I didn't end up using or really liking outside of the context of one dress for one school dance. And even though I'm not one to declutter a ton, I think it's a good sign that once I let go of those, I felt mostly relief, a little bit of bittersweetness, and a sense of, I was like, oh, well maybe I would want that, but then I had to be practical. And it was just like a weight off my shoulders of like, oh, I don't have to be forced to wear these lipsticks I don't actually want to wear. Wow. Makeup should be fun, and I don't want to make it not fun by forcing myself to use things that I don't want. And that seems like a simple idea, but for some reason, it's hard to let go. And when I watch declutter videos, because I really do enjoy them, I find them kind of relaxing and therapeutic, I'm always just like, why don't you let go? I don't see the problem. You don't like it. Why aren't you saying goodbye? But now I kind of understand a bit. It's just hard to let go of something that maybe has a memory with it, or just the concept of what if one day you would want it. It's hard to say goodbye to something that you purchased by yourself. I don't know why. But now I'm able to buy other lipsticks with the knowledge of what I've learned from those lipsticks, and with a new perspective of how I view tones and some reference to how they might look on me, even if I like the color in the tube. Moving on to the last item in this series, and it is the New Classics palette by e.l.f. And I'm really just flashing it right now. My goal was not to decide whether or not to declutter this. I simply just wanted to get good use out of it, because I got it for Christmas and I didn't really use it for the first several months of 2020. I was just focusing on my eyeshadows that I was panning and just wasn't super familiar with it, so I didn't really know what I thought about it. So I guess I didn't use it just because you know when you use things because you're more familiar with them, like you're not scared of what's going to happen because you know what they look like, you know how they'll perform. And so since I didn't really use the shades, I didn't want to start because I just wasn't used to them. But now I can say I've reached for a lot of these to help round out looks, especially these basic neutrals. A lot of the mattes and shimmers, especially like this top row, has a lot of good, like, just basic shades that are valuable in my eyeshadow collection. And can I just say, look how much more well-loved this is. I know it's not a ton of change, especially in the mattes, but maybe I can put up a picture of how it looked in my intro to this project compared to now. Hopefully there is some changes. Now my goal throughout this project was to use each of the shades 3 times, and while that might not seem like a ton, for some reason it's hard for me. I mean, there are 18 shadows. I didn't use this one at all just because it was like a charcoal gray black with glitter in it, and I'm just never going to use that shade. If you have suggestions for how to use a shade like that, please let me know. I just don't see its value. Oh gosh. So, my clumsy ass self just did the whole cartoon of whoa, 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 gotta drop it, and then I broke the packaging. This is why we can't have nice things. Now holding it up will be a little bit more difficult, but I'll make it work. I have officially used all of the shadows with the exception of this one 3 times or more. So that's pretty exciting. I actually used Platinum and Opulent the 3rd time today on the outer and inner corner of my lids. I have a different shade in the center, but I think it's a nice kind of grungy green gradient. And I'm still just really sad about this broken packaging, not gonna lie. Anyways, I can put up pictures of how I used each of these. This one I used yesterday in a look with a similar deep red in the crease and gold on the lid, which I thought was really pretty. I don't tend to reach for oranges, but I like deep reds for some reason, and I don't mind gold sometimes, but like orange I just feel like doesn't look very good on my skin tone. At first I wasn't sure how I was gonna get use out of this, but it is a nice complementary shade in looks. And these ones, they're a bit more like khaki than they are full-on green, but I think they are nice for more grungy kind of fall tones. I would say this row is very fall right here. Black Cherry is just a really nice deep cool toned deepener. It doesn't look as red as it does in the pan. It's a bit more gray, but it is nice for a more cool toned neutral look. Charmer I used twice. The first time I used it, I didn't love the look. I used it in my crease, and I think I wore it with these 2 green shades. And I actually think I bought this palette because I was really attracted to this. I didn't buy it just for this, but like that was the shade that like drew me in the most. And it's just a bit more brown and muted than I thought it was. I thought it'd be a bit brighter of a mauve for some reason. It is a pretty shade, but it is a lot more brown than I thought. So when I used it like that, I didn't love it, but when I paired it with the e.l.f. Rose Butter Quad, spoiler for my, what I bought now that my no-buy is done. I think my lips say enough about what I bought after my no-buy was done, but this quad, I used, I know I used these 2 in a look, but I used this in the crease, and then I used that mauve shade in the e.l.f. New Classics palette to deepen it, and I liked it a lot more. I felt like it pulled a bit more purple than brown. It was a nice kind of thing to blend in with this. So paired with these kind of shades, I like it a lot more than on its own. It can pull a lot more brown. Uptown I actually used more than I needed to. I find it's just a really nice shade to use in the crease for certain more yellow toned warm looks. And Beloved, it's not super metallic, however it is a really pretty duochrome shift. It's like peach and pink. And overall, I'm really glad that I own this palette, and I'm really glad that I got more use out of it. So now that I'm more familiar with it, I can really love it and use it in a ton of neutral and colorful looks. So that's the finale for this series. I ended up decluttering 4.5 items because I also had that Revlon eyeshadow quad that I decluttered 2 of the shades of, and I kept 2 things, and then the eyeshadow palette was just, I got use out of it. So I consider this series a success, and I'm really glad that I did it. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye. It's so sad.